When you share your food, you share your heart. So what's on your table this holiday season? Save on your festive feast at Kroger with delicious deals on all the holiday classics. Or wow the crowd with something new, like a quinoa stuffed butternut squash. It's sure to add a pop of color to your spread. How about a sweet potato casserole with a crunchy oat streusel topping? Made with care for the sweet tooth and the savory tooth. With Kroger, fill your table with love and watch as your guests' hearts get as full as their bellies. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
It's the 2024 Holiday Gift Bowl at the Johnson's house. They're unwrapping it, and wow, Tommy John!
Tommy John pajamas! These could go on right now! Yes! Peter, with Tommy John, you are the GOAT, greatest gifter of all time. What were you thinking?
Oh, it all to Tommy John. With their best pair you'll ever wear or it's free guarantee, they're the real MVP.
Shop Tommy John's Cyber Monday sale now. Save 40% site-wide at TommyJohn.com/Spotify. See site for details.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Thanks for choosing this free Anfield Index podcast. If you'd prefer to listen to this or any of our other shows without adverts, then now's the time to check out Anfield Index Pro. With AI Pro, you can supercharge your entire listening experience. You'll not only get all of our podcasts without the ads, but you'll have them far faster with our Quick Publish feature available exclusively for subscribers. AI Pro also puts you in the heart of our sound studio, with an option to listen to many of our shows live and interact with the podcasters in real time as the shows are recording. Upgrading couldn't be easier. AI Pro is available on all popular podcast platforms. Just head on over to AnfieldIndexPro.com and get started today.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the latest Anfield Index Under Pressure podcast. My name's Dan Kelleher, and with me to discuss Liverpool FC being top of the leagues, we don't have Hamzah tonight, I'm afraid. Well, we may do. He's double booked us with somebody from the Times of London. I mean, how dare he? But it's after hours as well. But I do have the rest of the team. I do have Mr. Simon Brundish. You were there last night, weren't you, Si?
I was. It was good fun.
I bet you was. But that atmosphere good?
It was amazing. Yeah, the last two Champions League games have been. I feel it's like
Leverkusen. And this one.
Yeah, Leverkusen, this one. I feel like it hasn't been this way since 1920. It's like, it feels like it's been long enough since we've won anything real, I think, to get, do you know what I mean? Like, you get complacent. Your fans get complacent. They just do. And I feel like there are enough fans that are hungry in the ground to really want it. It definitely started to feel like this for the first time it got a little bit like that with obviously 13-14 with Suarez, and then it just dropped off the cliff. And then it was Dortmund was the first game, and then Dortmund, Man United in
15-16.
Barcelona gets the acclaim, but the Man United game after the Dortmund one in Europa League in the competition where the away game, Phil dinked the keeper with an
yeah. We won 2-0 at home. Bobby and somebody else scored.
That was definitely the atmosphere that I remember most. There were periods of the Barcelona game, but for the most part of the Barcelona game, people didn't expect us to do anything. It was surprise.
Yeah.
And this had the fury from the first minute. It was a little bit like Chelsea, or so it was great.
Yeah, because there's definitely, we owe them for those two finals. But yeah,
Real Madrid.
There's some yeah, exactly. But we do have broadcasting live from his tropical island paradise on a diet of coffee and Red Bull, I think, all day. Dr. Barts.
How are we doing, boys? You all right? Yeah. Like, I tell you what, I agree with Si's point there. And this is non-statistical, so we'll finish up this on this after this point. But it does feel like something. Something starting. You know, like we spoke about when Klopp started, there was a feeling that you could see where we wanted to get to. We might not do it that season, but you could see where we were going. I definitely have a feeling now that we are on a journey with Slot, and we know where we want to go. It's just how quickly we can get there. And that last night really galvanised over the last 2 games. But anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, let's start. We're gonna focus a bit, about 20 minutes or so, on the Southampton game, and then we're gonna switch our attention to Real Madrid. So, Si, I guess the first thing to mention is first game after an international break again, and it seems now we learned the lesson of Nottingham Forest, with Chelsea and then Southampton. He's trying to keep South Americans on the bench if possible.
Yeah, he picked the 3 lads that had the most travel fatigue. He left them out, and you can't do it with all of them that have got significant fatigue because we don't have enough players right now.
Yeah,
and so he tried to be smart and sign me up to that. And
yeah, so it was a Bosley for Mac, and it was Cody for Diaz, and obviously Bradley. Trent is back now. He's ready to start against City, I believe. So it was just a grade 1.
Yeah, grade 1. He's just a bit of a Nancy boy.
We're not as much of a Nancy boy as another player who we will discuss in the second half of the show. Right. So I guess the most important thing about this is that the stats pack, Barts, despite the roller coaster of the match, the stats pack is incredibly dominant. Do you want to give us that match summary?
Yeah, I'll give you the top line because it was a while ago, so I don't want to focus too much. But possession 60-40 roughly, if you want to just round it up because we're that far away. Field tilt, which for those who don't remember or are new, is the percentage of time you spend in the opposition's final third. 80-20 basically, rounding to be easier to consume. Shots 27-7. In the box shots 18-5. Just big chances 6-3. XG 3.14 to 182. And there's a bit of an error there with Southampton's penalty and rebound in the same sort of mood. We are. And then you've got threat to XG conversion rate for us just below 100, for them way above 182. But you got 2 penalty, you got a penalty in there, so 2 penalties.
What's the Armstrong on the rebound? What was the top combined XG of the pen and the rebound? Was it about 1.5?
Yeah, it's 0.63 and 0.75 or 79.
So about 1.4. So Armstrong has scored 1 from 1.4 XG.
Yeah. I was looking at it and I couldn't find the exact definition in Opta. I couldn't find the usual bit they put it. So I know it's in there, and it's just you have to take that into account. When you look at game stay, it's a bit of a funny one for this because I don't think we spent what we away lead. We suppressed for away lead. We actually let them have a lot of XG, but then that includes that penalty. So that's a bit of a skew in that way. Drawing, we did our usual. We only let them have 0.2 XG, whereas we traded 0.25, which again includes that penalty. And then they were leading for a short period of time, but we didn't let them create anything, and we corrected over 0.54 XG. So yeah, there's things around that. In terms of probability of winning, 68%, 69% if we rounded it out, and the most likely score was actually 3-2. So as much as you say it was topsy-turvy, it doesn't really bear out in the stats in terms of...
No, it looks like a dominant win, doesn't it? What's the six? What's the Sims or the match result and the most likely score?
What do you mean? Most likely score for us was 14%. The next down was 4-2 or 2-0, 11%. And then
what did you say the most likely was?
3-2 to us.
Okay. All right. Oh well. Yeah. But overall, the probability 69% we win based on those numbers.
Yeah.
12% Southampton.
So 12% Southampton. I mean, you if you take away the roller coaster of the game, you look at it and you go, yeah, okay. Yeah, we gave away a penalty. They had an easy chance, and overall we should have won the game. We did win the game. But
Yeah.
you know,
Okay, got a couple of questions about Southampton, Simon. Sorry, not Simon. I'm not your mum. The Adam Armstrong, strange body type for a footballer, right? What would you say?
I would say he's an old-fashioned type.
Yeah, like John Robertson or something.
Begin. Or there was a Bournemouth winger that that's not
Yeah,
Eddie Howe played.
yeah.
these guys.
Another Scottish guy.
He played in the.
So he's Scottish.
I think he is. Yeah,
So there you go. That's what it is. It's deep fried pizzas.
it's Ryan Fraser. He played left back behind Armstrong in this match.
Oh, there you go. Ryan Fraser.
Ryan Fraser, yeah, and obviously Jordan Shaqiri as well is another one, isn't he? In little.
So Shaq's full of muscle. That's different.
Yeah. So he's a little bit squat, should we say?
Yeah.
Anyway.
He's cute.
Anyway, we're not going to pick on Adam Armstrong, even though he's a bit of a throwback. But we are going to talk about Russell Martin, the Southampton manager, right? So I got into quite a nasty, tempered debate on Blue Sky, actually, with...
You must know on Blue Sky.
Well, it was it wasn't name calling stages. It was definitely pointed, should we say? And they were adamant that Russell Martin's doing the right thing. And I said, well, you can't. My argument was, it's the top division of English football. Results matter. You can't. Development doesn't exist in a vacuum. He's not an academy head. He's a first team coach head, right? So where do you stand on this? What do you think he's trying to do with this? And where does the balance and how much responsibility does he shoulder for them being bottom of the league?
Lots, but they also aren't. They don't have good players.
No,
they decided to go back down, but lots of clubs have done this before, and they still end up sacking the manager. But what you guys don't get is within the game that he has got a reputation like just probably Eddie Howe from 5 years ago. Like he's a young up and coming English guy. He's just a fairly handsome white ex-footballer who he likes to espouse his game models a lot. So and he goes presenting all over the place. Look, this is how game models work. And he's got a sports psychologist guy that he's in bed with, basically. And
Scandal.
Yeah, they promote, like, they work together. He's got a sports psychologist that is his right hand man. That he's also the head of their fitness as well.
Yeah.
It's an interesting.
But the thing is, right, Rob Edwards, right, at Luton is many of those things you said, and he's a lot more handsome than Russell Martin. But Rob Edwards adapts his tactics to the players available.
Because he is principle based, he isn't game model based.
Right.
So what's occurred in English football in the last, I don't know, 6 or 7 years is to get your highest level qualifications, you have to create this big folder that's Brendan talked about it. His game model. And to be fair, Slot talks about it a little bit. And it's about his way of playing, and the great coaches collate training sessions and how they're linked together. It's on the computer these days, and how this session links in with this, which links into this pattern of play. But the problem is, unless that's underpinned by which problem does it solve?
Yeah.
And Mourinho was problem solve based coaching. He was creating solutions for problems, and he would create problems for the opposition. And this thing we've created in England is now, it's crazy that your genius game model that you've created, well, it just happened to last year.
You're in the league, mate.
But it started to invert a fullback. For a genius, where did that come from? Like, it's fucking flares and go at. He's a dickhead. But can
I ask a question? Can I ask a question, right?
What?
Do you think that his board has already said, we're not going to sack you, you've got the whole season? Do you reckon his board have said that? So they're all on board. So that he's got the license to treat it as a development season? Or do you think they'll be bottom of the league at Christmas and he'll be sacked anyway?
I think both of those things are true. It happens all the time. It really happens all the time.
Because fans aren't happy.
Oh, we're not going to invest. We're going to go down, and the mood of the fans decides.
Yeah.
And they just don't have the balls to see it out. I think it's a really valid strategy. Like the teams that have actually held their nerve to do it,
yeah,
and coming back really strong.
So if Martin's there next season in the Championship, having done all this overall, they're going to be in a better position overall. So they've treated it like a developmental year.
Potentially, but there are significant scars, psychological scars that come with losing all the time.
Yeah.
So I ideally, I understand it. I understand it if he's using this opportunity to experiment, to see what works. But he's not. He is just playing like he is third in the Championship.
Yeah.
And they're getting their brains beaten in.
Yeah. I just don't see the risk. The risk reward doesn't remotely stack up for me. But anyway. In this game, don't think either of you watched the matches on Sky, but Jamie Carragher was on code, and he basically said something in the second half, which is absolutely brilliant, that the only time that Liverpool look dangerous is when Alex McCarthy's on the ball. It was great because they did quite a good job of low blocking and bottling things up, and we weren't that great in open play, and we had quite a low average shot quality until the end. But Si, that decision which led to our opening goal to roll the ball out there, I mean, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what he was attempting.
Great days start with great underwear. So if you're looking for something special, give Tommy John and gift a better day. Everything we make is meticulously crafted from breathable stretch fabric for the perfect fit, including our sleepwear for him and her. It feels good to give, but it feels great to give Tommy John. Find something for everyone and pick up something for yourself. Because at Tommy John, greatness is in our very fabric. Don't miss Tommy John's Cyber Monday sale. Save 40% site-wide at TommyJohn.com/Spotify. See site for details.
Want to shop Walmart Black Friday deals first? Walmart Plus members get early access to our hottest deals. Join now and get 50% off a 1-year annual membership. Shop Black Friday deals first with Walmart Plus. See terms at walmartplus.com.
¿Hablas español?
Sprichst du Deutsch?
Kann du Norsk?
If you've had that sound from Babbel before, I bet you do. Babbel is the science-backed language learning app that actually works. With quick 10-minute lessons handcrafted by over 200 language experts, Babbel gets you on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. With over 16 million subscriptions sold and a 20-day money-back guarantee, just start speaking another language with Babbel. Right now, up to 55% off your Babbel subscription at babbel.com/Spotify podcast. Spelled BABBEL.com/Spotify podcast. Rules and restrictions may apply.
I don't need a VPN. I've got nothing to hide. This is what I used to tell myself before I hooked up with LibertyShield.com. Not only is my home internet now fully encrypted, but I can now access all the websites I want, whenever I want, and do so from absolutely anywhere. As a Liverpool fan, I love to know I can now watch every match, regardless of whether it's on UK TV or not. My Liberty Shield VPN makes sure nothing is blocked and guarantees me super fast streaming speed throughout that match. You can get connected right now with their software package, which includes a 48-hour no-obligation free trial and instant access to their apps for Apple, Android, Fire TV, PC, Mac and Android TV. Or go a step further like I have and get one of their pre-configured VPN routers. These small but powerful devices allow you to easily connect every device in your home to VPN, making it the perfect solution for smart TVs, Mac boxes, and games consoles. Visit LibertyShield.com today and use coupon code AIVPN25 to get 25% off at checkout.
This game model, they do it all the time. I think Klopp's team batters them by 7. We were nowhere near as aggressive in the press as Klopp's team would have been from the first minute.
We saw some good ones, but yeah, Robbo and Jones especially.
Yeah. We kind of warm into it, but it's not a swarm. We're still sat back, hoping to protect. And so we risk less, and he handed us to it. And if you're, I hate McCarthy as well because he screwed us over. He's been the worst goalie in the league and been man of the match twice against us. So
that's going back a few years like that, but
yeah, but he owes us a goal or two. Just throwing him up. Done it to City, and I wonder if their coach knew that he'd done this against us, so that's why he gave him the game in the first place. But that goal is not on McCarthy. It's not on the little kid Downs that they put. Well, it's not little; he's giant, but he's centre mid that they slid into in between the centre backs.
Some kind of Lothar Matthäus sweeper role there, in between the centre backs.
How much I would love a sweeper. I think a sweeper could work really, really well, and I think we've got the best sweeper in the world. But no one has the balls to do it. But yeah, he just became a third centre back. He was there 5 meters deeper than he would have been to receive this pass, and it wasn't him that received the pass. But McCarthy was doing the thing that is fully embedded, indoctrinated within those players in training to do, and it's not a smart thing to do. It's just not. At championship level, it's fine. At elite level, players are faster. And if you make one mistake, Robbo's going to tuck it into the top corner from 20 yards.
Yeah.
It's just, you can't do it.
Great finish, like.
It was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
And off the post.
Lovely pressing from CJ. I don't think CJ was great in this game. He got lots of acclaim. We're suddenly dropping acclaim all over the place for lads running around a lot. I thought he ran around a lot. I don't think he was particularly good at his pressing. I don't think he took up great angles. I thought he was pressing too much because he was on his own. But this little bit of chasing that he did in this, he was going the right side, so he was catching blind side, and he caught the guy with his pants down, basically. So, yeah, I'm into that.
Nice. Right. So, but we were in cruise control. I'm going to put it to you after that go, and they were making mistakes all over the shop. And we get to 42 minutes, and they've had 2 shots from a combined 0.1 XG.
Yeah.
And then what happens? How do you explain this?
Virgil makes a mistake with the distribution.
Yeah. He wanders a field, doesn't he?
Yep.
Tries a lackadaisical back heel to who? Grav, maybe?
It was Grav, yeah. And then the guy who actually played quite well for him, I can't remember his name, the lanky, tall fella up front.
Onuachu.
Yeah.
It's a fucking monster.
Big monster. But I thought they nicked the ball and then they drove that into the space, which you would do, if you stress the system, there's going to be a hole, they're going to drive into that. That's just smart, whether you like the way they set up or not. And Robbo, for some reason, decided to wait to make the challenge and then station himself on the line rather than he had 20 meters to go and do that further up. So he was definitely going to, if he was going to foul him, he's going to foul him, do further up.
Why was he so square? When he made that challenge, he was completely square, wasn't he? As well, it was horrible.
Yeah, he's
about himself.
I think he can be. I think he was going to make that challenge. I think he wasn't prepared to go shoulder to shoulder with the guys. I think he would have got abs. I think he would have got beaten for pace. But
this is Tyler Dibbling as well, who's kind of like lollops around like a 1989 Chris Waddle here. I think.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that's a great acronym, by the way. But I just think if you're going to make that challenge, just make sure you cover all bases and it's completely outside the box. He's going to take him down. I think he makes his decision. He's going to take him down fairly early on. Yeah, he's not that stupid. He looks around. He goes, Virgil isn't really there. Can't let it far over.
He just drives into the space, doesn't he? And
it's basically, what's the risk reward? I take him down and we get a free kick. If I try and get side on and make a challenge, he's probably going to beat me and he's going to get a shot off, right? And it's going to be a good chance. So taking him down was probably the right call. What he did wrong was he just backed off right onto the line and made the referee have a decision of whether it was a penalty or not. Whereas if he just 5 yards further up made the challenge, it would have been a free kick. And that's it, done. We'll walk away and he puts out the bar. Are we going at 1-0?
Now, in your current neck of the woods, Barts, where you are, the most popular sport there is cricket. And I'm going to say to you now that the current incarnation of the Premier League, the VAR rules with I think it's called the referee's call. It's very cricket-based, isn't it? Where once the umpires made their call, you've got in cricket, in DRS, there's got to be empirical evidence, clear empirical evidence to overturn the on-field, right? And what's the thing is, how did VAR get itself in such a mess where there was nothing to overturn this decision? How do we think that happened?
I'll tell you, also, this is where it's been thick of different stories. So the feed I was watching, the information they got off VAR was that VAR was happy the contact was outside the box, but there wasn't enough evidence to suggest that it didn't carry into the box.
And also that they couldn't determine that Robertson's foot wasn't touching the line when he was in contact.
Yeah. So I think it's an awkward one. I think the quality of pitches that VAR uses, we've said several times before on the show.
So not enough frames.
It's not enough frames. I think it's just not high enough res. So even if you look at the moment his foot is supposed to be making contact and in contact with the line, if you jog it a frame back, it's not. If you jog, it's just not good enough quality. But that bears into the situation that they'll go with the ref's decision, and that's why Robbo should have just gone. Do you know what? I'm going to fan him further up. That is not. It's not. There's not in question at all whether it's in the box or not. Yeah. Once you get into that situation and the ref gives it. The flip side to it, if the ref had given that as a free kick, it wouldn't have been overturned either.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it would stay with you on field. Yeah,
yeah.
So, anything to add to that, or do you want to talk? Should we talk about Andy Robertson?
I thought it was. I thought it was bad defending. All right, from. I think it was terrible from Virgil.
It was really. It's
a lapse every now and again against lesser teams.
Insouciant. It was insouciant again, wasn't it?
I like that. I actually think Robbo was. Barts is right. He should have done it earlier, but I actually don't think he needed to make a challenge talk. If he'd have just sent
the wide
flighty foot, we had two defenders deeper in the middle of the pitch. We had nobody has to. So there was very little threat. It would have had to be a thunder bastard from a really, really tight angle for it to be any threat on goal.
Because he's the second best keeper in the world. He's not scoring from there.
Yeah, so I don't think Robbo assessed the situation very well.
So, Andy Robbo.
It's a pen, who cares?
Yeah. So, Andy Robbo, on this channel, every year I do a fictional transfer committee podcast, and we obviously try to live in the real world a little bit, but it ultimately is it's a fictional transfer committee show. And obviously it's very easy to sell players, and last summer we sold Andy Robertson because we thought he'd still have some team would still be prepared to pay decent money for him because of his reputation. But we all really know he's significantly post-peak. And now we are here, and I think it's fair to say, Si, this season, he's showing signs of serious decline.
Yeah, I think he's probably panicking a little bit. I actually don't think he's worse than last season. I thought he was rubbish last season.
That's savage.
And if to be in all fairness, I think he's been more focused and better for the function of the system this season than he was last. And he's hitting 7s out of 10 sometimes, and I don't think he had any of those last year.
That's true. Yeah. So he's definitely tucking in more, isn't he, this year over a year?
Yeah. So he's got less lateral space to cover. He is round on the cover less, so he's not playing lads on side anyway.
And he's got more midfield in front of him than last season as well.
Yeah. And it's a different role, particularly when Trent's out. He's getting the ball more. This is the role you want Simi to be on, because Simi's much better on the ball than Robbo is.
Yeah. By the way, do we know much about Simi's injury? It's just a minor ankle knock, is it?
Well, I think we're probably another week.
Another week.
Yeah. Another week at least.
Okay.
Not contact. It was just ankle twisting training, I think.
So he rolled his ankle.
Yeah.
Okay. Fingers crossed he's back.
Not that I'm going to defend Robbo, Darth, but I would say he just come off the back of playing back-to-back games for Scotland.
Did he score like 118th minute winner or something?
Yeah, I also think at his age that he's becoming increasingly difficult to play back-to-back games. Yeah. I genuinely think if you look at the combinations that we played before, Costa's was supposed to play this game.
Yeah,
because Costa starts with Cody, right? And then Robbo would have played Madrid with Diaz, which is a combination typically gone with, right?
Yeah, right.
I think as much as everything you've said is true, I think the other side of it is also true. He's in his age, he's not able to deal with the game on game minutes as he used to do. And that's just part of the time catching up with him, and we have to accept that.
Comes to us all.
Do you think you limit his minutes, he can give you a 7?
Yeah.
He's going to have an error in him, a rick in him, and he's going to get, unfortunately, he's susceptible to a very pacey winger now.
Yeah, and back-to-back penalties conceded in back-to-back games is not great.
That's not a great record to have, is it? Two pens in, he's not great, no.
No, because he's going to be nervous the next time he goes one-on-one with somebody as well. It's like that's it. Yeah.
I mean, I think Bart picks up on a really good point about the amount of time that Robbo's played.
Yeah.
And would we agree that his peak started to decline, or the end of his best years were 21?
Yeah.
2021. He did 6,000 minutes that season.
Yeah.
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 Like, there is nobody that does 6,000 minutes that then recovers and plays well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Goalies, Virgil van Dijk, the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but even then, like, that's the end of the quad season, right? Or the quad chasing season, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. It's Friday.
Look at the team. If you look at the I don't know why the balloons on that. But if you look at the team from that period of time, one of them have suffered from that season. Like, Daddy's more injury prone. Virgil has taken 2-3 years to get back to being where he was. They've all suffered as a result of that season, I would suggest. Thiago basically didn't play for no more than that handful of games since. Yeah, it's just that has a toll on a system. Fab was never the same player. Hendo, do you know what I mean? They all, that's a massive impact. We're just left with Robbo out of really the main ones that are left.
Yeah. And Trent peaked at 4,300 minutes, and he did 4,300 4 years in a row.
Yeah.
So people will say, "Oh, it's easy to say in hindsight that we should have upgraded Robbo last summer." But I'd say we did put a pod out where we went through about 10 people to buy for his replacement. So anyway, there you go. Let's see what happens in January. I don't think we're going to play Andy Robbo mid-season. I really don't.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, we've done some pods on the guys that have been linked. I don't think they're ready for a mid-season move to Liverpool. It might be end of season, but I cannot see why you'd replace Robbo or Costas.
We're top of all the leagues.
Yeah.
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 You just see it out.
Yeah. Just. I think we just have to say Costas is first choice now.
Yeah. I think
Costas is better.
Yeah, he's better.
Costas.
I've thought that for 2 years.
No, we did. We said last season, particularly in that run to when he got flattened by Klopp and injured by Klopp in against Arsenal at home. He was terrific. Yeah. Right. Si, one thing about on the Southampton game was the weather was absolutely shocking. It was in the middle of a horrendous storm burst in the UK. Pretty rough one, to be honest. And as well as the weather, and us making heavy weather of this game, I thought we actually lost our heads for 20 minutes after that goal until, and they score another one on the counter to go 2-1 up. And then they almost score a third with little Armstrong, get into a dangerous position. How did you see that period, that 20 minutes either side of half time?
I think it's true. I think this is the most players we've had not playing well in the same this season. I think it was worse than Forest game. We managed to pull ourselves out, and Mo decided, having nobody passing him the ball for 40 minutes, he decided, fuck it, we're not losing this. A lovely pass from Trent to set him free to score, thanks to Sutton. From Grab, yeah.
You said Trent, yeah. It was a Trent. It was a Trent. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Alex McCarthy's positioning, though, absolutely hilariously bad.
Yeah, and I'll give him the benefit of the doubt of the wins. Who knows? It was just terrible. And I will definitely give the benefit of the doubt to Mo, because Mo has the best first touch of anybody in pretty much in the country. He doesn't chase his first touch 20 meters. What do you think he was trying to do with it?
Yeah. Anyway, there's not enough evidence to overturn that decision that it was intentional. So yeah, and it was a brilliant thing. Thank you, Alex McCarthy, as well.
But you're right. Up until our first goal, they'd had one touch in the box.
Yeah,
and then between their first goal and our second goal, that we had 17, they had 14.
Yeah. And they have got some good legs in the team as well. I mean, Diblin looks like an interesting one for the future. Fernandes, the young Portuguese lad, he looks like he's got a good engine on him too.
I thought we had really, really disjointed. I think in even our best games, this gives me optimism. That even in our best games, there are moments in the game you'll be able to point out where a lad with the ball has another lad about to stand on his toes.
Yeah,
that isn't supposed to happen, right? And what that shows you is that the game model, the patterns of play, aren't embedded fully into their subconscious yet. So they're making poorly timed runs, or they're running in the wrong direction, or not making a run supposed to. And you can see that when we're in possession, and then it often slows possession down because you've got Graves standing on Trent's toes and then asking for the ball. And it happens all over the pitch, and that's just poor pattern. So there's so much growth still to be had when we get training time and over the next 2 or 3 years, which is wonderful. But when we don't have possession, you have the change in how we press, and you have the inverse of that. So from players being too close together to players being too far apart, because one of them is decided to press when the others aren't in the right spots to press. And it's a little bit early clock like this. And you get it with Darwin and you get it with CJ right now. They're the two biggest exponents of this thing. And like, don't get me wrong, Curtis I love him. I think he's been great. I think this game was the opposite of the next one, but I think he was just out of kilter. So his synchronization with the rest of the team was off.
Yeah.
In the way that he gets called out for holding the ball too long, which
so he still had 100% passing though. I mean, he wasn't.
Well, he just. But his meters per progressive his progressive meters per pass was 2.
Yeah.
Like he was just passing the ball like to the next person who was stood really close to him, because his movement is so big. He gets too close to people and too far away from people. It's just the timing thing. That's all. In the next game, he was also. But my point is that he's making bad choices in this game because he kept being in the wrong position, and their second goal was because of this.
Yeah. It's true. It was a good move from them, but it was a
good move from them, but which never would have happened if he had have pressed, which he goes all the time. It was the one moment he chose not to, and no one would have noticed. He would have Armstrong would have just turned around and given the ball back. Or was it the left back guy?
Yeah,
and no, it would never have even got in that half.
Nope, it's true.
I tell you what they say. It's the same goal as Forest, though.
Hey guys, it's Eddie Gibbs from Anfield Index here. I hope you're enjoying this podcast, and I'm sorry to call time on the show before it ends. In the current climate, it's tougher than ever before to offer podcasts for free. At Anfield Index, we produce over 75 free shows every month, which I'm confident is unparalleled in the LFC sphere. Whilst we'd love to offer everything for free, the production costs now make this impossible. That said, we don't want to follow the model of other channels and lock all of our content behind a paywall. So what we've decided to do is to continue offering every show for free, but cut that offering to 30 minutes on our longer shows. So to get all of our shows in full and enjoy the best of everything we have to offer, we really hope you'll consider supporting the channel and signing up at AnfieldIndexPro.com. For about the price of 1 cup of coffee, you'll get every podcast in full with 0 ads. You'll also get access to our LFC VIP community, where you can enjoy live podcasts, engage with our podcasters, and chat with other Reds in real time. So that website again, AnfieldIndexPro.com. Join today.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Have you or someone you know left the behavioral health field? Coming back has its benefits for you and Ohioans in need. We would love to have you back working at a community behavioral health center, and you could earn up to a $3,000 bonus. That's right, a $3,000 bonus. Visit mha.ohio.gov/welcomeback and restart your journey today. That's mha.ohio.gov/welcomeback.